If one day the Pentagon stepped onto television and admitted, "We've met them, they are not from Earth," what do you think would happen? The world could shatter overnight. Religion would be shaken. The economy would collapse. Society would descend into chaos. And global order might never return to what it was. It sounds like a movie script, but for decades, the U.S. government has held hundreds of pieces of evidence about UFOs and chosen to remain silent. Not because they don't know, but because there are things they cannot say. In recent years, the term UAP, unidentified aerial phenomena, has gradually replaced UFO in U.S. military documents, a softer, more neutral way of speaking, yet carrying the same haunting implication. There is something in the sky that we cannot explain. In 2020, the U.S. Navy confirmed that 3 leaked UFO videos were authentic. Naval aviators recorded them during training missions. On radar screens, a spherical object moved at speeds far exceeding any existing aircraft, emitting no heat, having no wings, and no visible propulsion. And when the radar locked onto the target, the object vanished. Former pilot David Fravor, who directly witnessed the Tic Tac UFO in 2004, stated that the object could accelerate from 0 to 24,000 mph in mere seconds, a feat far beyond all human technology. It wasn't a drone, it wasn't an experimental aircraft. It defied every law of physics I'd ever known, Fravor said in his interview with 60 Minutes. Reason 1, national security. So why won't the U.S. military disclose the entire truth? The first answer is national security. Gregory Kaysen, Deputy Director of the U.S. Navy's FOIA office, stated frankly, "These UFO documents and videos contain information that could reveal our surveillance technology, radar capabilities, and analysis processes. Publicly releasing them is equivalent to handing a defense roadmap to our adversaries." In other words, UFOs are not just a cosmic issue, they are a military problem. Anything in the sky that the U.S. cannot identify is classified as a potential threat. But that is not yet the main reason, the truth behind the curtain. Because according to those who have been on the inside, the truth is even more complex. Former Air Force Lieutenant Robert Jacobs once disclosed that he was ordered to keep secret a film recording of a glowing object firing a laser that destroyed a nuclear warhead during a 1960s test. We saw it clearly. It was not an illusion, but my superiors said, "You are forbidden to mention it." And I stayed silent for 17 years, Jacobs said. Luis Elizondo, a former Pentagon intelligence officer who headed the AATIP, Advanced Aerospace Threat Identification Program, also affirmed, Kiet, "There are objects moving and operating in ways our physics cannot explain, and they are not Chinese, and they are not Russian." Elizondo believes that some UFOs may have been present on Earth for thousands of years, possibly residing deep beneath the oceans where humans cannot yet reach. A more terrifying hypothesis, he once whispered in a closed interview, "Perhaps we are not the only species that calls Earth home." The official Pentagon report in 2021 indicated that 144 encounters with UFOs were recorded just since 2004, and only one case was temporarily explained. Nioi, meaning 143 cases remain completely mysterious. And here's the interesting thing. The majority of these incidents occurred near military bases or areas with nuclear weapons. A researcher named Ash Ellis suggested this is no coincidence. If they are from an advanced civilization, they are clearly observing the only thing that could threaten this entire planet, our nuclear arsenal. Reason 2, societal impact. So, assuming UFOs are truly extraterrestrial technology, why would the U.S. military want to keep it hidden? The second answer is societal impact. Once the truth is disclosed, there will not just be excitement, there will be mass panic. Religions would have to redefine humanity's place in the cosmos. nations would rush into a race for alien technology, and the government's control over its population could be fractured within days. In 1960, the CIA had an internal report titled Psychological Effects of a UFO Revelation, which noted the announcement of undeniable evidence of extraterrestrial life could trigger a global crisis of faith. For this reason, the U.S. chooses to leak information little by little through limited congressional hearings and validated videos to allow humanity to gradually adapt to the idea that we are not alone. Human technology or something else. But not everyone believes that UFOs come from outside Earth. A group of scientists suggests that the majority of these phenomena could be human secret technology. During the Cold War, the U.S. and the Soviet Union conducted hundreds of projects involving experimental aircraft, stealth drones, and high-energy weapons, all kept top secret. Some physicists propose UFOs could be the result of testing military technology far ahead of its time, which even U.S. pilots are not privy to. But if it is just human technology, why does the U.S. military itself appear so bewildered? And why do these objects move far beyond physical limits, emitting no heat and creating no sonic boom? Those questions remain unanswered. The truth is, the U.S. is investigating this very seriously. In 2022, the Department of Defense established the All-Domain Anomaly Resolution Office, AARO. They use satellites, radar, thermal sensors, and artificial intelligence to analyze strange objects in space, the atmosphere, and underwater. The goal: classify, understand, and, if possible, control. But perhaps the deepest reason they dare not disclose is that they still do not understand what they are facing. It could be an enemy's technology. It could be a natural phenomenon that science has not yet explained, or it could genuinely be something from somewhere else. The late physicist Michio Kaku once said, "If UFOs truly come from an extraterrestrial civilization, they are not just thousands of years ahead of us, but possibly millions of years. And in that case, disclosing the truth would be tantamount to admitting that we, the human race, are no longer at the apex of the evolutionary chain." The irony is, while humans point telescopes at the sky searching for alien life, perhaps they have been here all along, silently watching us. Perhaps they are waiting for humanity to reach a certain threshold of awareness to be ready for the truth. Or they simply wish to maintain distance, much like how we observe an anthill. Regardless, one thing is certain: UFOs are real, and humanity is not yet mature enough to comprehend their full meaning. There are secrets not meant for hiding, but for humanity to learn how to ask the right questions before embracing the answer.